meters in industrial sector, but I think I plan to shift it to the presentation. First, we have to discuss what are the laws are there, particularly in industrial sector. They're using a very precious water. How there they are using, how there they have to kill the water, and finally where there has to gone to water from the surface to the subsurface. What are the problems are there? These are all the things we'll discuss today itself. Now, most of them, before I'm going to topic on the water heart. Now, everyone should be asked to know about this, the water cycles, hydrological cycle, or also called as Solomonov's I cycle. So we get the receiving from the water in various parameters. So we get the precipitation of water, then the precipitation of water, they have to fall in the surface of the earth, then the water has gone to all the surface to reach the pond, stream, channel, and the same water has to gone to this all the perennial water bodies. Perennial water bodies, it means all the seasons the waters are flow. Then again the water has moved through the already polluted pond, stream, channel, and also they have a river also. So finally, some of the water is a surface runoff. Some of the water they gone to this to infiltration, reach the ground, and finally the water has gone to the water table. Now, why I put into this the hydrological cycle means in the surface itself, there are various anthropological waste material, or it may be agriculture waste, industrial effluent waste, or domestic waste, human interaction on the nature, everything on disposal from the surface itself. So whenever this any kind of precipitation supposed to has to fall on the particular boundary, then naturally the water has gone and stay there, decompose there, and decomp the solution has to gone to the infiltration and reach to the ground. Then the real precious of the water may be polluted. So therefore, so when we had to talking about the water act, first how we get the water should be is the most important. So when you're receiving a water through the water cycle or hydrological cycle, then only we know the waters are there. Today, from the global distribution of water, everyone knows 97 percentage of water available in the global only for the saline water. That is called a salt water. So remaining 3% of water supposed we have to distribute it from the any various factors. Now from the 3% of the water, around 0.3%, a 0.3% only they have available in the surface water. So around 30.1% has to goes to waters are available beneath the subsurface of the water. It is called as groundwater. Around 68, 69 percentage of water has to goes to they are available in the surface itself, like a glacier amount, snow, or it may be various forms of precipitation. That all the waters are available. So where has gone this the percentage of the fresh water? So around the fresh water, it may be today we get the only for the 2.5 percentage of water only the available in the nature. So in this context, so we are going to facing a lot of problem in the quality of a water, particularly drinking side. So the USA scientists they declare definitely in the 2025 have a lot of problem from the everywhere in the world, problem of water stress. Because when I had to go for the talking about this the water stress, we had to go the calculation as a statistically which is the area has to maximum benefited, maximum using a water of a surface water, or it may be subsurface water in generally. So when you go for this number of industries from our area, they have taken a maximum water from the production purpose and various the using from the industrial sector. So around 60 to 70% of the water they using a maximum from the industrial area for the doing some kind of products. So remaining percentage has to goes to the farmers are using agriculture. Some areas a drought area, some may not get a water, or some of the water definitely has to infiltrate to reach the ground, or some of the water may not be using it properly because that water is not suitable for the drinking, domestic or irrigation, and anything else, because of you are not doing a proper way when during the rainy season we are not going to for the collection in properly. So this is the cases we have facing a lot of problem in the future also. So that's why from the globalization in the future, in the year of 2025, definitely we have facing a lot of problem, particularly in the water stress. This is the situations happens. Now, in this way, we have another important, we have a urbanization also, they increases double then. So as per the census record, we can go for this every once in 10 years, the census record has to move from the, if you have a 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 people, they have a move from a village to the city. Then the urbanization sector also, they have grow up, and the problem of various precious resource management also they have a facing. So once the urbanization has started, naturally we are given all the basic facility also. The most important is the water. So in this way, when there's we are given a water to all the balancing system from everyone. So when they, because these the productions and the using of the hydrological cycle, the cycle is giving a water only limited because of the various problem in the nature. Sometimes the seasonal rainy also started. Some seasons may not be fall, some season excess water, some season moderate, some season may not be get a water also. These are all the various fluctuations happens in the nature. We are not using a proper meteorological sources. But even now, when you had to take the water from the nature itself, finally the precipitation water has to fall in the nature itself. Then the same water has to gone to some of the water may be a domestic purpose. Some of the water has gone to the utility of the growing of the farmer of the backbone of the country, particularly in the agriculture. And some of this maximum water also gone to the industrial, and some of the water also generation of this power area, and some of the water has to gone to this to utility of the industrials. Some of the water has to go to the production of the food styles, and some of the water has to unwantedly, knowingly, we are wasting the all kind of water. So this is the situation also happens in the nature. Now, when such kind of the problems are noticed, what is the reasons? How we had to go for this? How to control this kind of the problems? So these are all the things, everything on in our life program. So by this time, as a those who are in the scientists in the field of environmental scientists, chemistries, or it may be those who are in the love with the subject as a physics, or it may be mathematician teacher, you are there. So at least we had to discuss with your students from the college, or it may be interaction with this any seminars or web seminars, or it may be you can discuss with your colleagues, friends, or those who are their involvement of this to any environmental issues, crisis related projects, or it may be your interaction with the any seminars, or you become a NGOs association with the various association. So by this time, today, what we real problems happens in the nature, how we had to go to balance this system, what are the real problems are facing. These are all the things should be as to express from the forthcoming of our generations. Otherwise, definitely we have a facing a big problem. So in this way, today in this 2025, the USA American scientists they declare definitely we have a war particularly in the water. So definitely we are expecting in any another 10, 15 years, we are facing a problem of water, and also facing a war of a water only. So that is the situation also we have come across a very short time. So that is the very important, another important things. If you have a go to this urban area or the rural area today, they're facing a lot of problems in the groundwater, or it may be surface water. Because as per the concern from this to groundwater sector or central groundwater sector, or it may be environmental groundwater sector, they have mentioned in the Gazette every year the groundwater table is maybe decline from the 0 to 3 meter, 3 meter to 6 meter, maximum from the 10 meter of the groundwater was decline because we are extraction is more. They have taken a water business. We have taken a water number of bore wells, number of various kinds of the open wells. Some of the area they have open wells. Some of the area may not be getting a open well. They have a dead cum bore well. So this is the situations happens in the urban area. So some of the urban area, they not bother about this the quality of surface water. They not bother about the subsurface water. They using know how much of water the extraction, how to do these various kinds of the pollution, as well as they create a lot of problem in the nature. This is the they have thinking directly, indirectly, knowingly, unknowingly because they are illiteracies. So this is the most very important problems started from the urban areas. So what is our message? What is our solution should be has to given such kind of the problems are noticed. So that's why we are going to give the awareness to the public and give the various messages through the media, telemedia, print media, or it may be any, if it is have a, any film from the DD1, the farmer supposed to has to sit there in the home by evening time, at least to 10 minutes to 20, 30 minutes should be asked to give the live program, particularly in the how this, the water act is there, how they we are using the water, how they balance the water, how do you have really problems are facing, particularly industrial area or urban area or rural area, or even if it have a municipal city town limits or anywhere in the metropolitan city also there. So how to solve the problem of this all the saying. So one we had to go the discussion that is the most important. So in addition, today we are using a very good quality of water through the bore wells, through the any corporation water. After using the water, we should be sending a water through the drain system. Some of the area may not be properly drained. Some of the area good drain system, canal system, channel system was there, but not properly maintained in the cement. They're not properly plastering in the area. So whenever we using the water, from the after using a use the water, then directly sending through the any unwanted water, waste water, effluents water, and even if a toilet water system also, they gone to the surface to surface. The same amount of water has to infiltration, reach the ground, and finally the water was polluted because you are directly sent to the surface water. The surface water is already polluted. The polluted water has to do all kind of interaction through anthropological activities. In addition, when they have agriculture activity, so agriculture activity, some pesticides, some raw materials, or it may be some chemical supposed to has to spray in the from the agriculture. The all these raw materials supposed to has to gone to the water and infiltrated, reach the soil. The soil has gone to the down, and finally nearby borewell, nearby any number of borewells are there. Definitely they have a polluted. So we had to find out whether these polluted are. We had to take the sample analysis, analyze in laboratory. Based on that laboratory result, we are going to this. These borewells are definitely have been polluted. So how they the polluted happened? What are the reason? These are all the things will be explained tomorrow my presentation. Now today, some of these this kind of these problems we facing, we know this waterborne disease also we see there. So from the waterborne diseases today we see there, particularly in this the discharging of water, or it may be using it from the preparation of water from the, or it may be from the, if you take a borewell water, the borewell water is not good for the quality of the drinking, or it may be the surface water is not suitable for the surface water, particularly in the pond, stream, channel, or any well of water. Sometimes the water is not quality wise, this is a big problem. So people knowingly, unknowingly, they've taken the water for this preparation of the food. So finally, they have a so many disease also we finding from through waterborne diseases. So the diarrhea, typhoid, cholera, dysentery, hepatitis B, gastroenteritis, these are all are comes under to the waterborne diseases also. So this is all these things when we go to this to the survey, wherever the people are rushed to the hospital, wherever are really they suffering from various kinds of disease happens in the nature. We see the telemedia, print media every day from your newspaper. Your kids supposed to ask there what is all this saying, or it may be any kind of supposed to those who are involvement of the research in this area. We are going to this recognition survey, or also called as a ground check survey. So normally, when you get the results from this, we had to go on to the field itself. You can observe from the field information. So when the field information, wherever this the origin point of this area, the origin point of the groundwater or surface water quality, where has gone, where that should be as infiltrated, where has gone to recharging, and recharging nearby surface water or subsurface water. What are the problems nearby? What is the condition of the drainage system? So these are all the recognition survey, ground survey should be asked to work. And wherever nearby borewells are there, for example, look at the figures. You can see these, there are already polluted water discharging from the surface itself. So in particular, nearby any open wells are there, bore wells are there, you collect that water sample. We can testing from the physical parameters, chemical parameters, biological parameters in the laboratory issues. Then we can know these, what is the results they have come in the quality of groundwater, the quality of surface water, quality of your requirement, what you have to work in the your quality aspect. So then we can consider from the where is the origin point of the problem. So another important thing today, they have people, they have the queue system for the collection of water. Now, some of the area is a good quality of water is there, good amount of water is there. The people are never bothered about the water because the waters are available in 24 hours. But some of the area, the water is not available. They have make a queue system. Once in villages, once in town, once in some area. Maybe 24 hours water has not come. One day water has come, tomorrow has not come. So, or it may be they have fixed a time from this water given by corporation authority. So we are seeing all kind of situations in the nature itself, but some of the water is not suitable for drinking. So sometime we get the water from the corporation authority. The corporation authority, where you get the water has come from corporation level. It may be river water, it may be any borewell water, or mixing with this mixing with the quality of water with the borewell with the any other water. So when the mixing or without mixing, we had to go to testing also. See, corporation authority, we had to water treatment is most important. Who knows whether this the quality will be testings, whether the treatment is happened? Who knows? Can you have anybody supposed to has to visit that places? Or it may be those who are involved under the testing fellow or chemist fellow, whether they had to go for properly they are done or not. Nobody knows. So sometimes definitely we have leaking a lot of problems, particularly in the waterborne diseases. So some of the area in the village wise, they have taken it depends on the borewell water, whether they doesn't know whether these borewells are suitable or not. They have taken a water for the preparation of all the food style for the survival of his life members. So this all these informations also we have seen there. So another important, we are facing a lot of problem, particularly in the Udupi, Mangalore coastal area and some of the area of the Kerala boundary. Even now, I see that the people are suffering from endosulfana. So the toxic crystalline chlorinated insecticide and acrisidide. This is these major problems, particularly in the agriculture sectors. Now, see, this is the first of all, this kind of these problems, endosulfana is the most very important affected in the starting from the kids itself. Because I gone to this to Malpe, a Udupi area, the coastal area of this Dharmasthala. So when I saw the work in this to conduct these endosulfana cases, so even now we have seen that this all these things come across in the pesticides, chemicals, various chlorinated related. They have spray the agriculture activity that will be gone to the surface, surface to the subsurface, reach the nearby bore well, and those who are taking the water, definitely this will be big problem from the areas. Now, this is very rare in the happen. Even you have 5 members, is those who are in the body system is not good in the enzymes are not working properly. and you have a weaker sections, or it may be even not healthy, then immediately this endosulfan definitely they'll attack there. So now today, every years from we are not drink a proper water. So some of them rich family members, the drinking quality wise, the drinking water is taken care. If a middle class also they have taken care. If a very a grass loot of the people, they never bother about the drinking quality wise. So wherever the waters are available in the nature, they have taken a water and drink the water, and finally the results was is a big problems. So these are all the things is even now today we are also seeing everything on the field itself, everything on the environmental. Now, this is this is one reason for the problems happens in this nature. In another reasons, we are going to discuss about the today we are facing a lot of problem in the water crisis. Now, when I had to go for the water crisis, first of all, we have a man-made crisis. What is the meaning of man-made crisis? It means so wherever natural resource management system, natural resource waters are available in the nature, we destroyed. We are all destroyed. The reason behind is so wherever there is a good quality water available in the nature, we only and only discharging from the effluent, discharging from the waste material, discharging from the any dangerous heavy metals to the nature, and all are there has to go on to the infiltration, reach the ground, the water table was polluted. So some of the area, the man had to starting from the purchasing of a land itself, from the leasing one, from 2 years, 3 years, and put into the borewell, and also the borewell was taking a analysis of the physical, chemical, biological properties, and sale for water. So the sale for 1 liter, 2 liter, and 25 liter in the market. So today people are going to business in the water. So where has come the water? The water has come from the nature only. So the made crisis, the business also they started. We have drink the water from the mineral water. We saw that mineral water we called as a mineral water. So the mineral water where you had to products and where you had to do there, whether how kind of what kind of this the testing is going on. So this all these things when had to go to the meet to these to various industries, the industry is supposed to they're not allowed to inside. They have given a wrong information to the public. So and also some of the area they have a dumping so much of garbages, so much of the waste material from the industry, so much of material from the agriculture, and also most important waste material from the mines, and also waste material from the houses, kitchen houses. They're dumping from the corporation authority. So wherever the dumping hats are there, so that near to the places of the borewells, near to the places of industry, near the place of anything else, they're dumping there. On the area of the environment also big problem. The surface water also big problem, and groundwater also big problem. And the most very important is a biodiversity cases also big problem, because birds not become the lot of problem in the smell, lot of problems in the nature. So this is also one case. Another cases the waste material discharging from the industries, because when the government supposed to has to give in a launching a new industries, they have to abide the rules and regulations of the government, what they had to mention in the constitution. So beginning there, they had to say that we are follow from the all the rules and regulation. We are not doing any kind of. They just had to give the information in the government. So when they rush to the industries when they had to they are not take care about this any kind of the message. They are not given any to the public, and at the same time they do all type of business within the premise of the industries. For example, so we can go for any industries. They are put into the number of borewells. The borewells is when the borewells is we have taken a water. So some borewells are taking a water, but some other borewells are not taken any water. They only the borewells are meant for any waste effluent, any waste discharging material, any industrial unwanted waste water. they are directly sent to the through borewell only. So that borewell water supposed to has to drill more than 1,000 feet, or it may be 500 feet. Then the almost all the waste generated, effluents generated, they has to gone to the a borewell only. But outside, when the outside these industries, they are very clean. Environment is a very good infrastructure. Everything is a very good facility. But inside these industries, they're gone to do all kind of problem. But now I'm telling not for every industries, but some of the remote places industries, the violations they definitely also taking place. So in this way, the Concerned Pollution Control Board Authority or the concerned district officers, those who are look after from the sudden visit to the industry, they have to look after if any waste material or any industrial sewage material or any kind of dangerous heavy metals supposed to discharging productions wise, they knowingly directly discharging linking to the nearby river, nearby canal, nearby channel, nearby any pond or stream or the channel. So directly discharging. So another thing is, I'll tell you one best example. Some of these industries, they collect all the material from the goods. They have sending with their own vehicle in the midnight. They travel there outside the parts of the city, outside the village. They have taken a 20 acre, 5 acre for the lease from the agriculture drought area. Farmers are doesn't know what they had to do there. Farmer are sale for the getting a money. They're thinking a money has come. They have thinking other way. But in industrial, they're purchasing some of the legal site from the outside the premises of the town or the villages. Whatever the products, waste materials, they has to start it from the industries. They're dumping that illegal area, and also waste materials they're dumping, and discharging materials also they have to do there. So when had to gone to that kind of site, we even if a grass also burning, soils quality also definitely is a big problem, environmental also big problem. So these are all the various the causes also happens in particularly in they do this the industrial sector. Now this all these various this kind of the global warming, they also started the chaotic weathers. The chaotic weather, it means all the meteorological parameters also they have a big problem. The meteorological problems are the chaotic weather problem. It means so rainfall pattern also missing, and also wind velocity, temperature, humidity, and also special weather phenomena, is sunset, sunshine, and and the moistures of the content of the area. So these are all the things supposed to has to fix this the instrument and to the nearby industry. Definitely every day what is going on the weather information, meteorological information in the nearby industry, how their effect on the environment, if they effect on the environment, what are the problems are facing. So these are all these informations also they have to gone there, work there. So after this, we find out the solution about this. What is the real problems are they facing? Where is the problems are come there? Now this is this what I discussions up to this mark for the general information of the Water Act, because I am going to directly from the Water Act. Before I am going to Water Act, wherever this kind of the problems are facing, wherever this kind of problems are noticed, who are the responsibility. So that's why I give the weightage to the general information of the topic of Water Act. Now come to this to what are the Water Act is there. So this all this kind of informations they have come across wherever this kind of the problems are noticed. In actually in the nature itself, some of these political issues also come there, because those who are owner of the industries, they have a well established in the society. They are very close to this to politician, close to the administration sector, close to the anything else. But in the common man, in the nearby people, they're facing a lot of problems. If you ask to anything, protection anything against to the system, definitely if you not get any justices. So This is these various problems also they have started. So in this context, the government of India, they made a constitutional rules and regulations amendment in Water Act. So wherever the such kind of problems, wherever the such kind of really they have a problems are facing, the environmental violations, the NGOs are protested, the common people are they have a lot of problem from the waterborne diseases, or it may be the surrounding areas are not suitable staying for the any urbanizations or the infrastructure development activity. Due to this, the various causes problems happens in this industrial sector. So this all this information, the constitution, the right this, the act was 1974. So from the 1974, wherever any institutionally, particularly industrials institutionally, they do any kind of the pollution activity directly, indirectly, and those who are lodged the complaint, if a complaint has come, then only they have to raise this active, they have give the amendment article 1974 act, they have do the act only in the industries, they are discharging various effluents to the nature, and the nature itself the various problem causes, and the causes of disease are the following. These are all the things reports should be asked to submitted to the government, because the industry is supposed to has to give the all much of information. So the public also they will lodge the complaint, the local authority has to strike against the industries, they given lot of problem, then the government act should be has to come forward, number one. Number two, the pollution control board authority, because every region, every state region, they have a district central groundwater board, state groundwater board, as it is pollution control board also they are there. So the pollution control board authority should be has to gone to the vigilance without any information directly. They are gone to visit the industries and look this entire information. They are do any kind of problems in the nature, and how they the effluents discharging, sewage discharging, wastewater discharging, any heavy metals they are discharging from the product of the industries, where has to gone. The entire report should be as to studied in the spotly, and confidently the report should be as to gone to the higher officers. So if any problems are noticed immediately, they have to stop this the industrial products or the goods or anything else. They give this to notice to the concerned authority, then it is come there in the 1974 act. Whereas in this 1977 act, some of these every industries are highly intelligent. They have appointed is the lawyers. The lawyer, whatever you had to give this to complaint and survey you had to make there, they have the own industries lawyer also. They had to give the petition against to the government lawyers. So, because these two lawyers to as to present the information to the bench court, the court was to order special case. So again, the another team should be as to gone there to work there, whether this government lawyer has given information is wrong or good one, or industrial lawyer has given a good information or not. These two lawyers should be as to balance the third party, that is they are in the intelligence information. They gone there, they work there, and had to brought the information in proper way, then had to submit the report. If a report was against the violation was taking place, from the contest of percentage wise, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50 within 50, they have to give the notice. So in future, if you do same set of the work, so in the next time, if you any come across in the information, definitely your industry will be closed. Even if a violation, it may be some amount will be penalty. You, if you owner of the industry, should be asked to gone to the jail system. So this is the we have gone to the study from the a constitution given by the Prevention and Control of the Pollution Act by the 1977. So after again the implementation from the 1970, but some kind of rules was modified, because when had to act has come, particularly the act, some of this the government lawyer, or it may be from private lawyer, the modification, the cases against the cases, or it may be they have adjusted to the government, adjusted to the public, adjusted the environmental officer. So indirectly, directly, they do all kind of, people are never going to lodge a complaint. If any intelligence fellow or concerned fellow supposed to visit the area, or it may be any problems are known to known, then definitely we have a directly they have a asking about the stop the industries. The act was 1978. Now in the same 1991, particularly in the coastal areas, now if you go to any coastal areas, most of these, almost all these A to Z waste material discharging from the river, or it may be ocean itself. So all the drainage systems, toilet system, waste product, any industry, number of industrials, waste management, directly discharging in the nearby coastal area. Now, if you have a coastal, suppose this kind of this the problems happen, the biodiversity is really problems, and the area of the environment, definitely you have a big problem. So this also we have, they have a such kind of a act also 1991. They have the water act, they have to come, number one. Number two, so if we, wherever the coastal area is there, for example, if you construct any new buildings, the old was supposed to has to demolish, or any waste material supposed to has to know there in the road itself, or it may be your own houses may be damaged one, that will be demolished one. So you have to call from the local authority, I want to remove this property, remove this waste material, then we can give this some amount. That fellow have taken all this so and so material, and finally will be dumping nearby coastal river water only. So then in midnight itself, they have dumping from the river, dumping from the ocean, dumping from the any kind of river available near area, because just this will happens in the night time. So they have such kind of people also there in this environment. So when you have the police department, or it may be intelligence department, we came to know that. So that having some kind of a act also, that is there in the 1991 act. Now, after all these things, now what to do? What kind of information supposed to has to come across? So that's why. So these are all the various act was there in this the constitution, but that was only in the constitution book. But no one has to follow the rules and regulation. But we are all follow the rules and regulation, informing to our own student, our own researcher. We know that we have discussed a lot of in the programs, any kind of the seminars, or it may be any kind of sources to the reach to the public. But even now you can go to any road today, anywhere in this our own village, your own town, your own city, across the road, lot of waste materials, lot of dumpings, lot of all kind of information also they dump there. So what to do? See, the government should be asked to come in the act was start from 1974 and explain this all kind of information. Now at the time of 1974, urbanization was not much more grow there. Now the most of this urbanization, particularly land use, land cover, will be completely covered. The power, particularly the private organizations, will be build a new layout. No, the new layout, they construct the new layout. What are the new layout waste materials should be as to digging and finally dumping from the river or water bodies. And sometimes you can see this when the village itself they have a pond in earlier your childhood days. Now the pond was completely encroachment from the industries, from the private sectors, from the locally eminent politicians fellow, they encroach the body, or it may be the dry pond covered with some other institution, the dry tank area is covered with some other area. So when you look at these, any maps in earlier past year of this, they are seeing that this area was in the pond, this area was a lake or stream, this area as any kind of water body. But today we can see the same map, everything was missing. But some of the area they have a just like a dustbin. So the river body, the ponds body, open well body, or stream body, channel body, the people are thinking about is a dustbin, because all the waste material should be as to dumping in the area. So from the act was 1907 for amendment in 98. So from the what are the act has come, the act has to send to the entire different state also. So that will be given by the central government. The central government instead all the acts should be as to common in everywhere. They send to all these pollution control authority, all the industrial sector authority, or those who are using any kind of water from the nature, they are using it properly and discharging the different sources. What kind of discharge based on the rectified and identify the real problem and punished, and based on the sources, what kind of information they have done there. Based on the information, they had to go after stop the industrial product. And this most very important sources happens in the acting of this. Now, after all these things, the Ministry of Water Resource Management of Government of India, they have circulated the bill, regulation bill, development bill, management bill, particularly using a surface water, groundwater in industrial area. So I'm talking about this, all the act happens focusing only in industries. So in the industrials, they have taken a surface water directly, indirectly, or it may be they have taken a maximum borewells to extract the water through groundwater in the it is premises. After taking the water, how they have a taking a per day of a water, how much of the gallons of a water they have taken. For example, 1 gallon is nothing but a 4.5 liters. They have taken a lakh to lakh of water. They use the so many production, same time and the same amount of water. Using that water, where has gone? They are storing within the premises, or it may be discharging, or it may be collect the water, or it may be where they store the water, how the process will be taken place, whether any water treatment plants was there, or any sludge treatment was there, or any kind of water related treatment was inside this premises. These are all the things should be as to check once in month. The Ministry of Water Resource Officer should be has to visit to the every once in month in the respective industry. That is a common bill. And the same way, the government of India, they have a act. The act was as to regulation act, prevention act, protect act, in the concern with the drinking act in 1919, to give the priority whenever, because there's one borewell distance to other borewell distance should be 300 meters. See, today every house is having a borewell. If a 30-40 house continuously was there in the city or anywhere, every people supposed to has to drill a borewell. So the borewell distance to one borewell to other borewell should be 300 meters only. But today, every 1 feet, every 2 feet, or 5 feet, 6 feet, they have a lot of borewells are there. They have taken extraction of the groundwater. They're using so many unwanted purposes. So that's why when you had to drill a borewell within your premises or wherever the outside the premises, you should be give the permission taking from the government of a regional wise. So the geologists come, hydrogeologists also come, environmental scientists also come, or it may be government on the particular area of the officer also come. So based on that, whether the is permission, whether the really the requirement of the borewell from the industry or private or any one of them, they have to give the chances to drill a new borewell. So these are all the things. Amendment was there, but today no one has to properly use. If you want to drill a borewell from your home, immediately call for geophysics and hydrogeology man, give the selection of the new borewell here, then drilling fellow has come, then drilling is over, then nobody has come. Nobody has not come. Sometimes if police has come, you pay me money, then had to gone there. They never has come again to you. So this is the situation was there in the environment. What to do? So that's why. So as per this, the Consent Pollution Control Authority or a PDO, Public Relation Officer, Development Officer, should be they gone to this to the wherever this kind of the problems are there. So they explain neatly because this the industry is small scale industry, medium scale industry, large scale industries. We have all kind of industries also today we see there. But according to industrials, or it may be small scale, if a small scale was there, what are these the resource management, their product, what kind of sources they have taken, how they the problems are noted, or any problems are they have made in the nature. Immediately from the grass level, you rush to the spot, give the information, you explain the all the future problem. If a violation, these are all the act was there. Based on the act, you had to penalty was there. If you not pay the penalty, you had to more than 5 years or 10 years. Maybe you can go to the jail, or it may be entire your industry should be closed. So these are all these things should be has to necessary general registration act information should be explained. Because when a local authority, I will tell you one another example. Wherever the industries are there, the industrial worker should be within the boundary of the village only, within the boundary of the people only. If anything happens, anything pollution happen, anything air pollution happen, any kind of waterborne disease happen, nearby village people should not ask, because if you ask there, next day will be relieved from the job. Or it may be you can ask there in the any leader, they have to pay the money, or it may be some other problem also they have to face there. So this is the pathetic situations that today we are seeing from the industrial sector. So what to do? So they have government of India, they propose the bill, particularly wherever this kind of the problems are facing. So what kind of the program? So whether the constitutions of the groundwater act authority, the officers authority, they have to, whether this the officer consent officer looking properly or not. Some of the officer, not for everyone, some of the officer is a joining hand to the industrials. They're given a something, they're taking the information, they are given a good report to the government. Finally, some of these area, the local area or NGOs, or it may be corporator fellow, they're going to give the complaint to against to these industries or do such kind of problem. So finally, they have some kind of the regulation. They're taking a punish to the government officers possibilities also there. So that's why they propose the bill, the new bill to the rectified, clarified whether the really the problem was there or not, or government officer given a wrong information to the government, whether should be they have adjusted the industry, they're taking from the so and so corruption activity, they crossed this any information, then they had to go to the inquiry about this on industries. So when the inquiries happens by this time, they have a what kind of the sources are there, how the waters are available, whether the what kind of borewells are there, whether the dug wells are there, or any number of irrigation sector is there, illegally connected pipeline to nearby river, illegally connected to water has taken from the channel water, illegally taken from the any nearby dam water, that is there or not. For all the information to detailed information should be submitted to the government. The government submitted act was called as Act 2011. The 11 Act is called as Regulation and Control of a Development Management Act. So based on this, the pillar was Act 2011 Act should be punished from the government officers also. So when this kind of this act was noticed, when they get this kind of problems are noticed, who are the responsibility? So from you can go to these industries. The industries never do such kind of problem. We are taking all the raw materials, effluents, waste material, any kind of we are taking consideration. We are dumping here. We have made a treatment. They mention here. So that also the another important. So this is the way. So when I had to do kind of this information, we had to uh, 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 apply these problems to see where whether these industries or it may be any kind of this kind of the problems are there, or who are the responsibility. Then you had to, they have a act, the regulation also comes under. Now in the previous informations, they have so much of the problems rising in the industry. Now they started from the act was, the acting is called as regulation act. So what are the regulation act from the water act? So the regulation act, there are this the chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5. There are various regulation act also. Today we have to see in there. So the chapter 1 supposed to be has to go for this discussion one by one. So when there, if you have a, you are a comes under to the chemistries, you are a lot of teachers are there in the chemistry. You are on so much of chemistry, maybe you do the PhD, so much of teachers have doctorate. You have do lot of research in your own area, or some of them has to, they have to very much interested to do the some kind of laboratory analysis in the chemistry department. You get a various kind of results pertain to the students related, or pertain to research scholar, pertain to your own institutional development. But same time, you think about this, when you are using a water from this natural water, our experimental conduct, and the same water you are discharging from the drains, or it may be your vein wastewater dumping. So naturally, that water definitely has to go to the proper alignment. Drains are there in near to your campus, near to your school, near to your college. It's a fine. But the same water supposed to has to go to the surface, to the subsurface, nearby number of borewells are there. Definitely that waters are definitely is a very infected, and definitely is a big problem from the water. I tell you, friends, waters are never stay in the beneath the subsurface. Always, waters are flow from one zones to other zone. The waters are moving from the cracks to cracks. The waters are gone to through the porous to porous. Always, water has to move to the number of areas to number of. Never stay in the one places. So when the polluted water has to gone to the number of borewells to borewell, if you have a receiving a one borewell, the borewell water beneath the subsurface water has to gone to the in different area also, based on the area of the soil condition, the area of the topographic condition, the area of the geology role also most important. So therefore, in this contest, in the government of India, they have given a regulation act. From the, when you read the regulation act textbook, inside the textbook are the rules and regulation given by the constitution, the act of water act, they have a given to the following information. So I am only focusing on the act in industries, because you are on chemistries, you are on physics, you are on so many other institutions, professors are there, teachers are there. You should be thinking about this kind of act also. We know there, we there. So we can, you can enhance your richness of a knowledge to please share the information to your students in your organization. Number one. So what are the preliminary act was there? So when the preliminary act, for example, when there's industry supposed to has to started, or any new industry supposed to has to started from anywhere in these your own premises, anywhere in the areas, by this time you should be, the consent industries authority should be given a notification. So I am planning for construction, I am planning to go for started from the industry in this so and so area. So what kind of industry you should be cited? Because earlier the industries fellows, they have taken a permission from the paper industry, or it may be any other mention that industry. But after getting industries, they started from the different sources. So that's why when you take the industrials new industries information, you should be notification. You properly explain, these are all the following supposed to, we have to go for the started year, work there, and we have to give the appointment, because once we started the industry, definitely we get a number of appointments also appointed. And what are the products should be has to come across, and what are the products should be has to sell, and what is the effect on the nature, and any problems are there. whether you have taken a water from the public water or own your own area of the premise of the borewell water, or it may be by the water, start the water from the taking a linking system of any nearby river or channel or any kind of water supposed to. These are all the things should be as to explain before you start these new industries. That is the mandatory. That is all that comes under the Water Act. Now come to the chapter 2 from the Water Act. What mentioned that these are all the 1 to 18 parameters should be as to consider. What are these parameters? Number 1, artificial recharge structures. What is the meaning of artificial recharge structures? Now, during the within the premises of industries, the premises of more than 200 acres, 100 acres, very voluminous acres, if it is there, during the rainy season, when the rain is supposed to has to fall within your premises, why not to recharge the surface water of a rain? Why not we had to collect the water from the rainwater supposed to has to fall from the roof as well as fall from the surface itself? You can collect the water in proper management and store the water and recharge the water from your own borewell and number of borewells within the premises, or it may be if your borewell was not there within the premises, we can give the water to the public, we can give the water from the away from the industries and create this awareness to the through your organization, and also tell the nearby industries to the village people everyone should be has to go for recharge the artificial recharge, or the industry should be has to adopt some villages, because nearby villages have some problem of crisis water is there, so we can adapt there the industry should, because many of these nearby industries, nearby village people, they have work your own industry, you can adapt there, you give the prime phases to education from the farmers, or it may be employee of the family member, hospital you can construct it, or an education institution should be constructed. Same time we can also construct it, go for these to various helping nature from the poor people. So in addition with the artificial recharge structure should be mandatory. Number one. Number two, see away from the premises, you have a lack of the area was empty. We can go to artificial recharge. That is a called as a check dam, galleries, check bund, open pit, farm pond. So these are all the things supposed to has to go for recommended, adapt there some villages through the adaptation from the industry, the from the industrials, from the any officer, we had to go for consideration of the artificial recharge. Why this point was important? During the rainy season, if you get a lot of centimeter or millimeter of rainy, that water instead of gone to unwanted places, why not we have to capture the water, collect the water in the proper management, store the water from your own premises, outside the premises. The same water supposed to has to come your own borewell or someone borewell. Ultimately, we get a lakh to lakh of liters of water definitely has to go on to the beneath the subsurface. Therefore, we are going to maintenance is the most important, and authority. So who are the look after the fellow should be highly knowledgeable fellow, the highly known fellow, how to do all kind of the work in the area. So that also we can appoint it from the industries. And the digging from the contract mentioned digging or drilling, we have to take the permission from the government. If a necessity is supposed to has to go for a drilling a new borewell or new anything in the water resource management, you should be has to up to date the permission from the government is the mandatory. Sometime if you not take this permission, if a drilling is going on, in the middle of the drilling also the consent officer or police officers or geologist officer, tahsildar, revenue inspector anytime supposed to visit there and stop this drilling and digging of the new borewell, and has to they have taken a custody to the consent the industrial sector also. So that is also most important. Now come to the defuncted well. It means a failure bore well. Now we can go to today. You can see this many of these village area. Earlier we are using a open well. The open well is now dry. So people once we ask the open well is water has not come. People are thinking about the dustbin. So if you open well is there for all the unwanted waste material, agriculture waste material, industrial waste material, they have selected. And also, as per this my observation, some of the industrial nearby outside the area, they made a various pit. The pit is 0 to 10 feet, circular or rectangular, well shape. So that is the well is called as a industrial waste material well or industrial effluent well. they are discharging in the open well. So if today we can 1,000 to 1,000 gallons of effluents will be discharging, dumping in the common well, particularly failure open well, failure circular well, failure rectangular well. If it is there, we can go into dumping from the all sort of the unwanted effluents or waste material. So tomorrow morning, if you can go there, that will be infiltrated, or sometimes may not be infiltrated, take a long residence, they've taken a very slow infiltration. But one day, for all this resource information, polluted information, definitely infiltrated, gone to the beneath the surface to subsurface, nearby, entire nearby village of the borewell is a completely is a big problem from the quality. So these are all these things happens in this near to the industries. So the failure borewells, because sometimes you can go for this village itself, their drilling is started. If you go for 1,000 feet, no water, then finally they stop there. So wherever the such kind of borewells are, we can see that the industry should be asked to take in a lease from that well and put into the directly from the all kind of the effluent. So when this government should be asked to come forward, the government should be asked to stage by stage. They look after from the industry and see the what is activities going on. That is the very most very important. And the local authority and the area of this permission given by revenue inspector, tahsildar also come across and see these for all whether they follow the rules and regulation of the government law, then they're implemented or not. We can see that. So another most important from these two rainwater harvestings. Now today is the common forums from the rainwater harvestings in the every stages. So the industry should be has to adapt the villages to encourage implementation and recommendation and install the rain harvesting structure from the industry as well as the premises during the rainy season. The water should be has to collected in the proper way. So every time supposed to when the rainwater harvesting is there, so you have to should be has to go for to how much amount of water you can use, how much amount of water may not be used. So that will be registration is most important. So if in necessities those who are people are maybe really problems are facing from the drinking of water, so the industries should be constructed a new well. If a quality was tested, if a water was very good quality wise, they are not sending anything else in the nearby premises, then the employees quarters, employees area, a number of bore wells, number of open wells, number of any kind of wells are there, then you can test it time to time and recommend it from the area. So the zone of aeration, the zone of saturation condition. Zone of aeration is the very near to the surface. Aeration, 50% of the water is there, 50 is the empty. Whereas zone of saturation is called as a groundwater situation. Zone of saturation is the beneath the subsurface after the water table. So the condition of the saturation condition also most important. So I am talking about this all these things. Artificial recharge also most important. So whenever we have to look after anything else to the concerned government should be near industries. Artificial recharge structure is the mandatory for this to collecting of rain time of a water. The water should be has to gone to the borewell. The water should be has to gone to the anywhere in the near to the subsurface of the well, or it may be any ponds and streams and channel nearby. Reservoir is there, dams are there. Directly the water should be has to gone there. But proper maintenance, if it directly sending wherever the water should be has to gone, this should not be do any kind of anthropological activity. It should not do any agriculture activity. Should not do any kind of domestic activity. That is the most important. So that will get this important. So the authority of a government, I am follow from the Karnataka, I am follow from the Maharashtra, I am from the taking the adaptation in the entire Tamil Nadu, or it may be Kerala, any part of the state. So the consent wherever the industries was there, the industries are look after should be they have taken care about this all the necessity information also. Now, some of this area, even if you have the government, they have to your larger complaint, they have a major problems are happen. Even though the local authority, MLA also very close to industrial authority, because election time they have to come across all the industry will be directly indirectly up to the election, the politician also. So by this time, people are suffering. So people, when see people are suffering, they made an association as to gone to the strike against the industry. So they have a law. Even now, the act of law is there, but the government should not take any law against to the industry. So by this time, suffering from the people, by this time, they have a make a creativity, rules and regulation, protection act given by the constitution. Then we had to go the problem. Sometimes the protesters may be strong, maybe violation happens, and also they have crushing happen, and the police versus public may be big problem. Some of them they have a in the picture, they have a lot of problem. Some of them death in open firing, some of them lockup death, some of them purposefully killing in the procession. So this all these things happens in this society. So the violation of law, violation of rules and regulations of a water heart, that also we have seen in the today also. Now some of these the digging of a well, whenever you digging of a new well from the anywhere in nearby industry, please see that area is suitable for the digging of well, because this area nearby, when you propose a new digging of well, is not suitable because so much of anthropal activity, so much of waste materials are there. Toilet water also may be discharging, effluents also may discharging, or it may be any kind of problems are there. So that area is not suitable for drilling or digging because they're already polluted area. They already surface anthropologically as per the concern from the given the report from the public. The area is not suitable. But even now, the people are going to drilling that area. You have to take care. So that is the violation should be happen. And also the drilling agency has to come there to drilling. The drilling agency also registered party. The registered means he has to gone to pay the tax. He has to go for a registered pollution control board. Per month I am going to drilling this site. So they gave a list. So sometimes why this all these things, some person supposed to they not take any permission from the government, they legally drilling. But when there's a drilling fellow supposed to, once you catch the police, he should be asked to give the all the detailed information. I am drilling this site number, owner number, name of the fellow, they should be given to the mobile also. Then the police should be asked to come. They had to, the concerned government officer also come. Are you taken the permission for digging a new borewell or not? See, I'm giving the example. Same time, in the example in the industrial area also, the industrial office supposed to have to drilling the all kind of they have taken a permission is a mandatory. Otherwise, they have a lot of problem also. We have to see there. Now, today I already explained in this the West, the borewell, failure borewell. Earlier, the water has come borewell. Their failure is there. Now, these borewells, they are not seen. They are not use this water. So after this, the water maybe definitely have a big problem. So finally, the well or the open well or the defected well, they have a dustbin. So this is the situations happens in this nature also. So that's why whenever it is this kind of information supposed to has to gone there, you should be asked to, they have take care.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello, yes.
Sir, time up, sir.
Uh,
1 o'clock, sir. Time.
Okay, I will conclude, madam. I will conclude it. Huh?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So, dear friends, please take care about this because this science is very advanced. So, almost all, most of them, please take care about this. The situation happened. They kill this nature, and the government the have a rules and regulation. Act was there in the groundwater condition. So, all of us should be. We are all officials. Should be as to at least we have to give these to detail information to our students. In the students is the bright future of their society, and we see this many cases. We can go to Delhi, Maharashtra, Pune, and part of Tamil Nadu, part of Karnataka. Today, the slum people they have taken the polluted water and lot of problem from the health. And really, when had to do this some kind of project work or dissertation work, your technical report from your own student, select such kind of this area and see the check this real quality of a water, whether the waters are suitable for the drinking or not. Because this common man stay in the slum area, people are doesn't know they're facing this kind of problem. Ultimately, they have a lot of problems are come there. So this is the situation has to come. By this time, the government also they come forward, and also they have to give the tips to the government, and they have to policy, and also they assign this some kind of information the public awareness program, and the work should be as to come, and everyone should be as to abide the rules and regulation follow from the constitution given by the act of a water. Then everyone should be taken a oath, and based on that we have to follow the rules and regulation of the information. So this act we have to consider. Because of the time is up, I am unable to continue another so much of information. So from the but the concerned authority just has to spoken me, time is up. Friends, if you want to any interactions, please for